What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first video in my wedding series. I am so freaking excited. I just got engaged a couple months ago and I kind of let all those emotions and all of the excitement sink in, and now I am like research time, jumping into wedding planning and ready to get it all going. So I'm going to document this whole season of life. One, just because I think it'll be so fun for me to look back on and remember, like, me going through this process. And two, of course, I want to bring value to you guys and, you know, give you all the wedding tips and tricks, you know, bridal clothing hauls and makeup and hair tutorials and wedding dress shopping, bridal party gifts, like all of the fun things. So if that interests you, then be sure to subscribe so you can follow along. I remember I used to watch these videos years ago, way before I was engaged. So I know that there's girls out there that just enjoy content like this and want to follow along. And if you are newly engaged, then congratulations if you want to go through this process together. So I am very excited. I thought it would be fun to kick off the first video of the series with the 5 things that I didn't expect about getting engaged, or like 5 things that changed after getting engaged. I know everybody's situation is completely different, but I still want to share my experience, and hopefully, you know, a lot of you can relate, or if you're not engaged yet, then these are things that you can definitely look forward to. Okay, the first thing that I didn't expect about getting engaged, but it really is probably the best thing ever, is just really how emotional and exciting it is to be able to really dream about your future with your partner. I think even when you're dating, of course, you can dream together and you talk about, hopefully you talk about your goals and, you know, what you want out of life and what marriage means to you. I mean, your values. I hope that you're having all those important conversations before even getting engaged. It's just so exciting and emotional, and it makes everything so much more real, and it's really hard to put it into words, but it's a feeling after you get engaged. It's a feeling of like really doing forever with your person, and it's so fun and exciting. And I think I just wasn't expecting the emotions to change as much as they did for me, just like really making that commitment in your mind and just like dreaming with your partner. It's just the most fun. Okay, the second thing that I really wasn't expecting, nobody told me this, is how the day you get engaged, people are asking you where it is, when it is, what's your date, what are you doing for your wedding. Like, it was so bizarre to me. Like, the next day, people were like, so when's your date? I'm like, I just got engaged. People are still asking me. I mean, it's 2 months later, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just enjoying being engaged. But it was just so funny, like that first week, the amount of questions that I got about where it is, when it is, how many people are going, are you staying here, are you doing a destination? I actually made a funny reel about this on my Instagram, so go check it out. But people are gonna ask you a bunch of questions. People are gonna have their opinions, their strong opinions about your wedding, and they will tell you. None of it, I don't take offense to any of it. When people ask me questions, I like get excited. I feel bad that I don't have an answer. I'm like, I don't know, but I don't like take offense to it whatsoever. I think it's exciting and it's fun, but it's just something that I wasn't expecting. The like influx of questions, opinions, I was like, whoa, not expecting that, but it's part of it. Okay, the third thing that I definitely think I was like, wow, this is super important in the season of engagement is communication. Communication is always important. We know this in relationships, it's key. But when you get engaged, like, the importance of communication is through the roof, and that is with your partner and also with your families. I know everybody's different as to like who's going to be involved in your like planning process and all of that. So it could look different for you, but for us, our families are very involved in our lives. We love them. So having open, honest communication with first and foremost your partner and then everybody else is so crucial. I think a lot of times the planning process can be stressful, or, you know, people feel like they're not being heard, different family members or whatever. So I think taking the time to like listen to what people have to say, ultimately, of course, it's you and your significant other's decision and everything, but at least hear people out, have respect for each other, and communicate, sitting down with your partner specifically, writing out what you guys envision for your wedding and for your life and for marriage. I think it's so important. I think that's why marriage counseling is so important, but having communication in this season is just next level. Like, you need to be open and honest, communicate, listen to each other. And I just found that after getting engaged, I'm like, wow, okay, this is like really important. We need to communicate like what we want and just how we're feeling. Okay, number 4, I just wanted to throw in there because I wasn't expecting it after getting engaged, and I promise we'll end on a good one. But number 4, I know everybody warns you, but like, holy crap, weddings are expensive. And again, I know everybody talks about it. Oh my gosh, they're so pricey, but holy crap, like, I just wasn't expecting, once I started actually diving into the numbers, how expensive having a traditional wedding is. I understand why people elope. I understand why people just go to the courthouse. I understand, you know, and you can definitely make it more affordable, but even the most affordable wedding is not like cheap. Does that make sense? So yeah, there's definitely ways to DIY. I've watched a lot of videos on how to save money and stuff, but wow, weddings are expensive. So not to discourage anybody, that should never hold anybody back, but I'm just throwing it in there because it was something that I did not expect. The 5th thing, and my favorite thing that I didn't expect after getting engaged, didn't really think about, is prepping to become a wife. And that's what I'm calling it. Obviously, the meaning of marriage is different for every single person, and also depending on your faith, it can be different for you. And I think that that's so beautiful. But for me personally, just like, I've been diving into what God says about being a wife, and I don't really take that title lightly. I know like titles are stupid, and you know, you want to be the best girlfriend you could be, and fiance and partner and whatever, but becoming a wife, there's just something like the seriousness of it to me, really diving into like the qualities that I want to have as a wife and making it very solid, and talking with Mark about it, and what is our faith gonna look like in our marriage, and just getting like very, very serious about it, because I think the more you can prep for marriage, the better off you are for a long and healthy marriage. And I know, you know, it's work and you work on it forever, but I think the prep to become a wife is just like very special and important. I know too, because for me, like, I've dreamt about my wedding day my whole life, right? And I have the vision of it in my head of exactly what I want my dream wedding to look like. But your wedding day is a day, and I think, well, I know that it's more important to prep for marriage, to prep for, you know, your relationship and your future is more important than prepping for the day. So even though wedding planning is so freaking fun, and I take it just as serious, and I love it, and I'm excited for that, I don't want to forget about prepping for marriage and not just a wedding day. So that's just something to remind yourself, and it can be just as fun as wedding planning, is prepping your soul and your spirit for marriage, and to have a long, healthy marriage with your significant other who you love. And it's fun to like have those conversations together as well, and don't just get lost in the wedding day, because that day's gonna come and go. And you know, you really need a solid spirit and foundation, and for me, faith within our relationship to keep us going. So, all right, those are the 5 things that I didn't expect about getting engaged. And I just thank you guys so much for watching the first video in the series. I'm so excited. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys can relate to any of these things, or if you're excited about getting engaged. It's gonna be the best day ever. So just let me know where you guys are at, and be sure to subscribe so you can follow along with the series. Follow me over on Instagram so you can stay up to date over there. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.